Hey there folks, Bob Yeager here. So we're going to do a short little video today because I'm prepping for some projects, and this video is primarily for those of you who are practicing different woodcraft, bushcraft, or wilderness projects where you're building things. And what I notice is the big trend right now is paracord and mule tape and things of that nature. And where those artificial cordages are great, I recommend using them all the time. When you're practicing things, I'm going to say that you're going to blow your budget because you're going to get, 100 feet of paracord for maybe $15 or something like that. And then you're going to have to cut it, and then it's going to be useless for other tasks because you cut it. Or you're going to cut it into 25-foot lengths, because you were instructed to set up tarp shelters and things like that, and then it's useless for anything else. I'm going to suggest that you go a different route. Now, this is familiar to everybody, but maybe not this size. A lot of us use number 36 bank line. I have spools and spools of the stuff, but this is number 8 bank line. I use this for whipping and for small woodcraft projects. It's generally pretty inexpensive, and you don't have to worry about the amount of tarring on there. So if you want to buy a cheaper version, you can. This is the, I think it's Kalula or something like that. And it's number 8. It's a finer bank line. See if I can kind of show you here. So it's a finer twine. It's not like the number 36, but it's still the twisted bank line. Second thing is sisal. Sisal is a more natural rope. A lot of people will call it jute. This roll of sisal I've been using in different outdoors projects and landscape projects and things for probably about 8 years now. And these spools come at about 2,250 feet. And you can get one on Amazon, you can get a Tractor Supply, you can get probably Home Depot, I think I got this one from. But on Amazon you can get a roll like this, 2,250 feet for 20 bucks. Okay? And it's a pretty sizable roll. This isn't even as big as they are. I've just been using this one for so long. A lot of times what I'll tend to do is if I'm using it for certain projects where I'm going to be wrapping it really tight and things, I'll coat it in wax, or if it's going to be outdoors for a long time, because it will rot over time. It's a natural cordage, right? But I'll just take some fixing wax and I'll wax it while I'm using it and stuff. Many times I don't even do that. I'll just like burn the excess hairs off and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's a really good option, and you can make more rope from this. So from this twine, you can make more rope. So here's this is some sisal rope, 1/4 inch twisted rope, braided rope, I'm sorry, that I bought. And it was number 14 sisal. I bought 200 feet for $14.50 or something like that on Amazon. I got it from West Coast Paracord. So 200 feet for about $14.50. And this is sisal rope that I made from this twine here. Now, I'm not going to get into rope making today, but I'll show you, if you want to see how comparable it is. This is the rope I made. This is the rope they sell. All right. It takes a lot of twine to make a decent length of rope. This is about 30 feet of rope right here. I put a dent in that spool making this rope. Okay. But what I want to get into today is how to prep this rope to be able to use it. So what I recommend, you get number 8 bank line, or number 12 or number 9, that's fine. And some sisal twine, a spool of sisal twine. Look for about 2,250 feet. It's going to last you for a really long time, and you're not going to be overly upset when you tie a bunch of sticks and bushes together in the wilderness and you have to leave that stuff behind, or you can't get it unknotted, or whatever it may be. It's not going to upset you all that much. And if you do leave it behind, this will return to nature. It will rot, decompose, and return to nature. It's not going to hurt anything, right? Then if you're not handy at making rope, get 2 of these bundles of 100-foot sisal. Like I said, it's about 15 bucks. You know, if you got a little extra cash, get 400 feet of it. I get it in these 100-foot lengths. West Coast Paracord has it so you can get 2 100-foot packs of rope for $14.50 on Amazon. All right. But what we're going to do today is we're going to whip some of the rope I was making, and I'll show you kind of what that looks like. I did one end, and I'm going to do the other end with you today. Let me bring the camera closer. All right, apologies for the lighting today. I'm just kind of chilling outside in the yard. So this side I whipped, and what we're doing here is we're taking some of this number 8 bank line and we're just making it so the ends of this rope doesn't want to come apart on us. Okay, a lot of people tape the ends. I tape it as I'm making the rope, like after I made the rope, until I get to the whipping part of it. But honestly, you want to whip this so it can't come apart. Even if this fluffs out, it won't be able to come apart. Now we're just doing a really regular whip. We're not doing like a sailor's whip or anything like that where you go inside the braids. It's a little more complicated for you, and with this smaller rope it's a little bit more difficult. But once again, you're not going to be too upset when you cut this bank line or you cut your rope or anything like that, because it's fairly inexpensive. So what I like to do is get about one of my arm's lengths of bank line. And this is tarred bank line as well, just like the number 36 would be. And I have a lot of rope to whip today, so I just cut off an extra long piece. But so all you're doing really is, I like to just put this up over the rope for right now. And all you're going to do is, your lead end, that's the longer end, is going to stay down, and you're going to start taking this tag end. So you have your working end and your tag end. You're going to start taking your tag end and up towards the top here. My rule of thumb is I try to make my whipping twice as long as the diameter of the rope is, at least twice as long. Okay, so 1.5 times as long as the standard. I tend to make it at least twice as long. This whipping is actually 3 times as long as the diameter of my rope, which is 1/4 inch. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to kind of pinch this right about 1 inch from the end of the rope, and then I'm going to start going around the rope. Make sure I'm in the shot. Around the rope like this, and I'm going to keep my wraps fairly close to one another. I didn't have enough there. I'll do it like that. So I'm going to keep my wraps fairly close to one another because I want this whipping to be really tight. All right. And at first, I'm not really putting a lot of tension on this because I don't really need to. So if I'm right about at that width right there, I hope you can see that, I'm at a little over the width of this rope. Okay, so what I tend to do is, you want to make it towards the end of your rope or as close as you can get it, but don't be too concerned with it because you could trim the end of the rope off. So we're just going to whip that around like that, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to feed it through this loop right here, just like that. I'm just going to kind of lay it over here. Then what we're going to do is take this other end and pull it, and we're going to pull this tag end into the center of this whipping, just like that. So nothing too complicated. Okay, once you have that, you can just cut off the excess of the tag end and cut off your extra length here. And if you want, you can trim the end of the rope. This is just going to mushroom out. A lot of times I'll throw a piece of tape on there or just trim it off. But the sisal is pretty easy to trim. Now, when you make these trimmings, don't throw them away. Put these in your char tin. Next time you do charred material, you can put this in there. All right. Then what I'm going to do is take that excess tag and the end of the cordage that I had for the working end, and I'm just going to give it a good tug and make sure that that whipping's nice and tight on there. Okay. But that's what we do with natural rope. we whip the ends of it. That makes it so it's not going to come apart. Now I'm working on some Scout Pioneering projects, and this kind of cordage is perfect for that. Sisal rope is perfect for that type of project, because we are going to be cutting excess and things like that. I tend to get, for every wrap or lashing that I have to do, say if I'm making a pyramid or hourglass watchtower, I'm looking at 2 tripod lashes. So I'm going to keep probably 2 30-foot hanks of rope, or even just 2 of these 100-foot hanks. Then I'm going to be looking at 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 lashes on the main body, and then probably about 3 more. So I'm going to be doing a total of 6, 8 lashings. So if I had, this is a 30-foot hank right here. If I have this 100-foot, I could do 4 25-foot hanks, and I'd have enough off 2 packs of this 200-foot to do an hourglass watchtower, which I'm going to be building in a future video. But first things first, anytime I'm using this kind of cordage, I want to whip my ends. Now if I have this brought down into 25-foot lengths or 30-foot lengths, I'm going to whip it, and I'm not going to cut that cordage. Any excess, I'm just going to wrap it off and tie it off to the side of the structure that I'm building. That way I can recover my rope in the future, and I don't have to keep whipping the ends of it, right? But with the twine, it's a lot smaller, obviously. It's probably about 1/16 of an inch, somewhere around there. But you can make more rope with this. You can make tinder with this if you untwist the strands, which is really simple to do. Just give it a twist. It's a reverse wrap twist on here. It's more of a flash tinder, but you can make tinder with it. The sisal, it just keeps going and going and going. Now this spool, originally I had wound around really nice and neat, and I loaned it to somebody, and they didn't realize you're supposed to pull from the center of the spool, not from the sides of the spool, because then it just untwines itself. So there's always a little loop here, and you just pull from the center, and that's where you retrieve your cordage from as you're cutting off lengths. But, you know, pretty inexpensive. What I have sitting on the table, you have about $35 in sisal, and then probably another, I'd say about $8 in 1 pound number 8 bank line. So we have about, you know, $35, $42, $43 in cordage sitting right here that's going to last us for a really, really, really long time. And you can keep using it over and over and over again. Now, is it as strong as paracord? No, right? Sisal is generally, this is going to have about a 75-pound tensile strength, somewhere around there. When you're doing lashings with the bigger 1/4 inch rope, you're going to have a lot more than that, obviously. Coupled with using bank line for different areas, maybe to tighten down your lashings and things like that by frapping with bank line. You can frap with bank line if you want to. You're going to just keep making it stronger and stronger. But this stuff here I throw behind the seat in my truck. So when I'm out in the woods and I'm doing some stuff, I could just reach in there and grab it. If I was going out in the woods and doing a big bushcraft or woodcraft hunting camp project or something, I'd take this spool and pretty much everything you see here with me, and my bushcraft black, because it's quick to sharpen, easy to cut, holds an edge for a long time, and it's fairly inexpensive knife. If I was to lose it, I don't get too overly concerned with that. But this is a good kit setup, especially if you're just practicing knots and lashes and all these things, and you're not really well versed in it, and you find yourself having to cut your cordage off the things you tie it to all the time. This is pretty critical to keep this stuff at a budget. As you grow, like in your main kit, yeah, keep your paracord, keep your number 36 bank line, keep your Hanks and mule tape, whatever it is you choose to use, but don't practice with that stuff, right? Practice every once in a while to see how it works, but don't practice, you know, things you've never done before with it. Practice with this stuff. Practice building your structures with this kind of stuff. All right, take care.